What is going on, Crisis Actors? It is episode 1103 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Thursday today. It is brand new day, which means that tonight I will be going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day and then recording a review for you guys tomorrow in the evening. Should get it out about midday tomorrow as I try to, at least for the reviews these days, I'm trying to remove some of the ums and ahs and hms and tripping over my words that I tend to do when I'm doing all those movie reviews. So you should stay tuned for that. But I am here today with my guest co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
What up, dude? So happy to be back. Hey, I'm Mike Carlo. So glad to be back. I totally forgot that Spider-Man was coming out today.
Yeah. Well, I think, like, I don't know who the people are that get the Wednesday tickets, but I never get the Wednesday tickets. At least I don't think they do them at the local theater for me. So I always have to go on Thursday night, which I still like, but it's like sold out everywhere, which means that I'm going to be stuck in the corner. You know, I have to sit in the far back right corner, so I can take notes.
Welcome to my corner.
So that I can take notes on my phone without bothering people. I don't want to make it annoying for other people, so I have to be back so that I'm not sitting there like in one of the early, in the front rows with my phone up like this as I try and fail most of the time to take notes because I have to have the brightness turned all the way down. It's a whole process, but I try to be as respectful of everybody as I can. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. Just hanging out. What are your hopes and dreams for the new Spider-Man? Do you have any expectations?
No, it's superhero slop. As long as it literally has a beginning, middle, and an end, I'm sure it'll be fine. I have no I don't have a deep connection with the character of Spider-Man. I'm a lot more critical of, say, like a Batman movie or like when we went and saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm far more critical of those franchises because I care more about them. Spider-Man, I will go see the movies, but it's not like it's something that means a ton to me. So as long as he's not, it's not a drastic change from what this version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man have been previously, I don't see very much, and I haven't seen much in the way of reviews that would indicate that it's that anyways. So we'll have to wait and see for that. Also, guys, no, this is not a Bob Dylan shirt. I have not had to humiliate myself yet, but according to the mail, it's the Bob Dylan shirt that I had to order should be getting there today. So as long as everything works out the way it is, my humiliation comes to pass tomorrow on the show. At least that's what it is. Mike's giving me a look.
Yeah, I missed the lore on this. Catch me up.
Well, see, it's not lore, it's fact. Bob Dylan sucks. And people who...
Thank you. I'm with you.
Yeah, so as I say all the time on this show, Bob Dylan sucks. If I wanted to listen to warbling, meandering words, I would just listen to myself all the time. But I don't. So we had a bet going on during the episode 1100 of PCC. Said if we get 11 crisis parties, I will debase myself and wear a Bob Dylan shirt on air. We reached that goal, so that means that when it arrives, I will humiliate myself and wear a Bob Dylan shirt. I can't believe I have to do it, but I'm going to do it because I always make good on the wagers that I make here on PCC. We have a $20 super chat here from Katie. Thank you so much, Katie. She says, Brett and Mike, in my city, there is a woke nightclub. I didn't know there were woke nightclubs.
Oh, God.
I suppose woke is a good name for a nightclub. I mean, the cocaine flows freely at the woke nightclub.
It never closes.
Yes, it's always open. Brett and Mike, in my city, there is a woke nightclub, the Magnet House, that says no transphobia, no racism. It's funny, it's inclusion, but discrimination. If you don't agree with them, try to be for everyone, you're for no one. That is generally true.
I mean, a sign like that would just make me actively want to be more racist. It would give me an aspiration to work towards.
Well, you're Italian, it's...
It's my birthright.
Look, I saw The Sopranos, and it's so funny. So I was watching. I started this show, and I should finish it, called Brotherhood. That was a Showtime show back in the day, and they're not Italian. I think they're Irish in that show. I only got through the first couple of episodes, but it's really funny because it's just the 2000s was unhinged, and it was so much more willing to casually lean into said things. And there's literally like a scene at the very beginning where this family member dies because he starts calling this construction. He's not a construction worker. I think he's like a union boss, and he's just calling him the N-word over and over until the guy finally beats him to death. And then I'm just. But it's just like, you're not sympathetic to this dude. He's totally a piece of shit. Like, he's like, he gets his ass kicked, and it's like nobody's on his side, but at the same time, the whole show just seemed to be really, really unafraid to approach said themes because of a big topic of the show, at least from what I gathered in the episodes I watched, was gentrification, which became a huge topic throughout. So very interesting. If anybody's seen the whole thing, it's got Jason Clarke in there.
Nobody's seen that. Where do you find these shows?
It was considered one of those prestige television shows. What? Just at the same time. It's not the same time. It would have been like around towards the end of the Sopranos run. Yeah, Jason Isaacs, Jason Clarke. I think it's Jason Clarke. I forget that guy's first name.
All the Jasons.
It was definitely pay cable fare. Like, you weren't getting it on basic cable because it had a bunch of nudity and slurs and everything like that. But I don't know where I'm going. They probably had a woke nightclub in that show. That I was like, why did I go off on this tangent? But I'm off on a tangent. But anyways, yes, you are correct. If you do try to be for everyone, you end up being for nobody at all. That's generally the way that it works. All right, what are we getting into today? We've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, so let's see. We're going to talk about Mark Ruffalo. He seems to be MIA, missing on the promotional tour for Spider-Man Brand New Day. He obviously is going to play a big role in this movie as both Bruce Banner and as Savage Hulk, which is weird because you would think somebody with a big role in the movie would also have a correspondingly big role on the promotional tour for the film. Tom Holland is out there. Zendaya is out there. Where is Mark Ruffalo? Well, there are some people that are positing that perhaps Marvel and Sony are keeping him off the production promotional tour because they're afraid that he's going to start talking about Palestine, he's going to start talking about oppression, and he's going to throw his fist up, whatever. I don't know if that's really something that can be proven. He's also working on a show right now, season 2 of a show called Task that I have never heard of. No clue what it is, but it's in season 2 already.
When it's a show that Brett has never heard of,
there's lots of shows
it doesn't exist.
There's lots of shows I haven't heard of. There's even more shows that I haven't watched. But the point is, never heard of it. They're saying that perhaps he's off filming that, but people find him conspicuous by his absence in this production tour. So we will talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Thomas Crown affair. This is going to be a lot of fun because I've got thoughts on the Thomas Crown affair reboot that is being made by Michael B. Jordan. He is both directing and starring in the movie, which is interesting as it is. But after we get into that, we're going to talk about the race swap, which is, I'm sure, what most people are talking about. I think that the other stuff they talk about in this production it's not a production interview. It's like they got some quotes from him and did a write-up about the upcoming show, about the upcoming movie. And I find some other aspects of the character that are being changed to be far more interesting than simply race swapping the character of Thomas Crown. So we will talk about that. We're also, because I thought, why the heck not, let's review the 1999 Thomas Crown affair, because I asked Mike, I was like, have you seen it? You said you had seen it when you were younger, right? Like when you were like you went to the theater to see it with your parents.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, and so the only thing I remembered from it was Rene Russo's boobies.
Yeah, there's nudity, so you had to do the It's bad enough. It's bad enough if it happens in the living room where you can get up and leave. That's 100 times worse having to do that with your parents, with your family.
I don't think I was very into it as a kid, and now I kind of see why I wasn't. But
so, all right, well, we will talk about that. Also, I am excited to do that. I want to do more movie reviews. I think it's a lot of fun. Also, did you know this story came out last week? If you can't succeed in the trades, if you can't get a degree and then go work on Wall Street, ASU has the solution for you, my friend, because you can now get a bachelor's degree in being a content creator / influencer. Who wouldn't want that, right? Are you excited? Is that what you want to do with your life? Do you want to?
No, I'm trying to get out of it.
You could be a teacher. You could teach them how to be an influencer.
Well, I can't teach myself how to be one. I can't influence my dad to stop wearing Crocs. Who the hell am I influencing?
Well, your dad's right. You should be wearing the Crocs. That's perfect.
No, Brett. See, I can't influence anything.
Wait, so are you on Christopher Nolan's side? No Uggs ever?
Is that what he says?
He had a no Uggs rule on the set of his movies.
Do people still wear Uggs? I feel like I haven't seen an Ugg since the 2000s.
Apparently, was it Emily Blunt was saying that because she had to wear period heels for Oppenheimer. She didn't want to wear them all day, 14 hours a day when she wasn't shooting. So she put on some Uggs, and Christopher Nolan was like, no, you're taking everybody out of it. Like,
oh yes, that's what's taking people out of it. not the woman who transformed. That's what's taking
Emily
people out
Blunt
of it.
Transformed? What?
No, the other one.
Oh, no, we're talking about Emily Blunt. Oppenheimer, not the Odyssey.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
I don't know why I thought you said the Odyssey.
I might have. So when the whole time we were on the these last couple of weeks, I kept saying Oppenheimer when I meant to say the Odyssey.
Yeah, and I kept saying Evil Dead Rise when I meant to say Evil Dead Burn.
Yes! The funny thing is I would watch old videos and somebody'd be like, I forget who it was, if it was the Quartering kept calling it The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm over here loser, and then you go and you actually do it and you're like, oh yeah, it's really easy to fuck that up.
Wait, isn't it called The Rise of Skywalker?
I think it's just Rise, or he was calling it Rise of the Skywalker, which makes no sense.
By the way, though, do you remember those skanky girls in the early 2000s who they would all wear short shorts where you can see their chotch with Ugg boots?
No.
Really?
No.
Yeah, you guys know.
Were these the ones who had? Would they have the Playboy tattoo from the tan line? Is this the same archetype of woman?
I don't know what you mean, but yes, I somehow know what you mean without knowing what you mean.
We have a 20 here from The Rumbling. Says Spider-Man is a solid 8 out of 10. It just told a story about Spider-Man. Good pacing with telling action and story. The hero and the villain cameos were just right. This movie will most likely make over $1 billion. Oh yeah, it's gonna make over $1 billion. We'll get into a little bit more with that when we get into the Mark Ruffalo stuff. So, in fact, you know what? Thank you for that, Rumbling. We can use that as a jumping off point. Mike, are you ready?
Oh, I am ready. I was born ready. Let's do it.
All right. Let's go ahead and get started then. So, Spider-Man Brand New Day just came out yesterday. At least it had its early screenings yesterday. It's coming out today officially with the Thursday previews. The box office projections for this movie were at one point so insane, they were saying that it was going to make about $800 million in its opening weekend. That has since been reduced in most cases. There have been a couple of sites that have cited that number, but I think the general consensus here right now is the opening weekend box office for Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to fall somewhere between $450 and $500 million. That's making $195 million at the domestic box office in its opening weekend. That is more than Toy Story 5, which made $159 million in its opening weekend. It is less, however, than Spider-Man No Way Home, which was the one that came out in 2021, which opened to $600 million worldwide, which in 2026 bucks is about $739 million. So either way, it's a Avengers level movie with just it's not just Spider-Man, but a bunch of other characters. But with that strong opening weekend, we also know that one of the characters that is going to be featured in this movie is, of course, Bruce Banner and this version of Savage Hulk, which is going to be portrayed, as always, by Mark Ruffalo, as he has in all the previous movies. And a lot of people have been asking questions on the internets. Where the heck has Mark Ruffalo been during the promotional tour for this movie, given the fact that he is supposedly playing such a big role? Everybody's seen Zendaya. Everybody's seeing Tom Holland, the stars of the movie. It would make sense that Mark Ruffalo would be on the press tour as well, trying to get people to go and watch this movie. Well, as I'm sure most of you know, Mark Ruffalo is perhaps one of the most, if not the most outspoken actors in Hollywood when it comes to his politics, whether it's his dislike or his hatred of Donald Trump or his stuff. He talks consistently about Palestine. A lot of people have theorized that it's possible that Sony or Marvel are keeping him off this press tour just to ensure that nothing untoward, drags the momentum down for Spider-Man.
Do you think maybe they've finally learned from the Rachel Zegler types with this stuff? Because, for me personally, it's just particularly hilarious that Mark Ruffalo, of all people, is his beloved Palestine. He feels so strongly about it. However, even if it were things that I agree with, I don't want all the political messaging shoved down our throats, even if it's something I agree with, which of course it never is.
Yes. I can't think of anything where... Okay, there was a really funny one yesterday where one of my favorite things going on right now is anybody that works consistently with Paramount has to be very careful when questions about the merger comes up because, Paramount is where their bread is buttered at this current moment. So somebody asked Zoe Saldana what her thoughts on the merger were, and... somebody transcribed it under the video, and it's like this long. So it just, and we might talk about it on the show tomorrow, but it's like, I think Zoe Saldana right now is the highest grossing actor of all time, bar none, because she's Avatar, she's Marvel, she's all of them. That's
such crap when they say these actors that nobody cares about. 90% of people probably don't know who they are. I feel like when you say highest grossing, it should be like, okay, not including Marvel, because there are no stars in it. There are no movie stars in it or from it.
I mean, Scarlett Johansson is a movie star.
What's that?
Scarlett Johansson is a movie star.
She already was, though.
I consider... Well, okay, so what do you mean? Do you mean like movie star as in they're a movie star because of Marvel, or like does it matter that they were a movie star before Marvel? Because Robert Downey Jr. is also...
It's like the characters are the stars. I feel like nobody's going to... Unless it's... Okay, Robert Downey Jr. is maybe like the one exception. But even though Zoe Saldana... And she somehow won an Oscar for the Mexican trans musical.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that, right?
No, I never saw that. No. Was that an Oscar or an Emmy?
An Oscar.
What was it called?
Emilia Perez.
Yeah, I thought that was a Netflix series.
No, it was a movie.
Oh,
and it was a
okay.
musical.
Okay.
How very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
That's exactly what they sound like.
But what I was going to say, though, is even though she's one of the highest grossing people or whatever, like, other than these franchise films, like, name a great performance of hers. What's her best performance?
That is a really good question. Like, I can't name any off the top of my head, but I wouldn't be able to name one. I'd have to go back and look. Who was the lady in Columbiana? Was that her or was that Rosario Dawson? I don't remember. Anyways,
you racist.
It was a very long time ago. I think that was Rosario Dawson. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I don't even know.
I don't even know what Columbiana is.
It's like a female action movie. It came out kind of at the same time as Haywire with Gina Carano. Anyways, here's some more comments that were made. Marvel really couldn't allow the possibility of Palestine being mentioned on one of their premieres. Fuck them. Mark Ruffalo, you're so much better off without them anyway. His bank account isn't. His bank account is very much better with them, which is why they will not take him on the press tour. There was this video here. I'm not going to play it because the trailer will get you copyrighted, I think. But it was for a movie that he made, or that he didn't make, but that he was advertising for, called Palestine 36. And he says it will expose the Epstein/Zionist regime, which is why you get more tweets like this. Mark Ruffalo wasn't featured in any interview, behind-the-scenes footage, promotional tour, or any single premiere. And no! It's not because he's filming for his show. I hate Sony for this. Again, I don't see any proof that that's like. I guess it could be Sony, but I don't know. Like,
also, he's not around. Don't question it. It's like Beetlejuice. You say his name 3 times, you're going to summon him. Yeah. Be very, very careful. This all kicked off with this guy's tweet. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, it was from Filmified Guy, who said Mark Ruffalo has not done even a single promotional interview for Spider-Man Brand New Day, despite having a big role in the movie.
It's like, okay, so let me ask you a question, just because I want to look at the quote tweets for this as well. Are there any actors who you like so much it doesn't matter if they say something stupid?
Probably. I mean, I'm a Woody Allen fan. That's how good I am at separating art from artists.
I mean, that's.
So.
I mean, a lot of people in general. It seems like. I mean, Hollywood specifically doesn't give a crap whether Woody Allen makes stuff or not. They're perfectly on board with supporting Woody Allen.
Don't get me started on this. I will go on forever about how he was innocent and Mia Farrow was the original Amber Heard. But I'm trying to think.
But that's different though, because that's actual like that's like saying, you know, can you separate art from artists with people accused of crimes? Like that's going on right now because of Jared Leto. I'm saying more like they've got stupid stuff to say, but you still like watching their stuff anyways.
I'm trying to think, are there any actors left that I love that much? Okay, if Neve Campbell, which she never would. Mm-hmm. I know my girl is conservative deep down.
Wait, the girl, wasn't she in Wild Things? I don't know, man.
Yes, that was the best movie, by the way.
Like, okay, so what makes you think Neve Campbell is conservative?
Because I think any of these actors, any celebrities, when they don't say a word about politics ever, you know what that means. That's how I knew Gwen Stefani was conservative, and now they're attacking her for that because she had the audacity to be Christian, which she's always been. They clearly have never listened to the content of No Doubt lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is like, isn't it possible like that we fall into this paradigm now where everybody assumes that everybody's either liberal or conservative? There are plenty of people who are just they just don't know and don't care.
I should say I use the word conservative very loosely. I don't really consider myself like a conservative. However, when I say that, I just mean like not a communist.
Yeah. I don't know. Like for me, I still imagine that there's like a wide range of people in the middle who just don't know or don't care, or they're just too busy to know or to care what's going on.
I don't know. I sort of feel like if you are not explicitly opposed to this ideology, you will capitulate to it. I think that's what happens with a lot of these people. Because I don't understand at this point, you know, there was just Fauci testifying yesterday. So at this point, how could you not in some way be impacted by politics and everything?
Yeah, but the thing is for the actors, again, for me, I feel like the biggest benefit I have is that when I was young, I was, I made a lot of mistakes. So maybe my brain is just confused all the time. But I never remember what they actually say. I remember once in a while, like I know Mark Ruffalo has said a bunch of stupid stuff about Palestine and a bunch of stuff about Trump and a bunch of stuff about how he likes Mamdani, but I couldn't like give you quotes as to what it was. I just know he said some stupid stuff, and that's for like the worst of the worst. When it's an actor that I know has said stuff that I probably disagree with, or at the very least they come off as very, very political on social media, but not to the same degree as Mark Ruffalo. Like I know Wendell Pierce is a political guy, and he's a very left-wing guy, but it doesn't stop me from loving The Wire or anything else that he shows up in because I don't really care or pay attention.
Okay, I guess, you know what I just realized? I really, at this point, could not care less about celebrities or actors, but I feel like I do have an example of this.
Go for it.
There's this YouTube channel I love called Dead Meat. I don't know if you ever watched it. They do the kill count.
Oh, for like horror movies and stuff?
It's so good. I love them fully knowing that they hate me. So that's fine. Like, they don't have to like me. I can still watch their stuff and enjoy it. Roll my eyes at the occasional comment here or there, but
especially if they keep it, if it's minimal. Like the big thing is like artists tend to be emotional folk that are persuaded by emotional arguments because they like to fully, like, it's weird because they also don't understand a lot of times where another person is coming from, whereas they should, because their job is supposed to require them to get into the mind of somebody that is different than them, which would theoretically make you believe that it's possible that, you know, they could see things from your perspective without necessarily judging you. But that's not what it is. It's not that they don't judge people. It's that they know how to turn it off and perform them accurately without it necessarily changing their opinion on them.
They're just insufferable. And the thing is that like I said, I can separate, I can ignore it. The type of thing that I can't separate at this point, I feel like, is when you have somebody like Amanda Seyfried lying about Charlie Kirk to sort of support his assassination. To me, that's sort of like, okay, a red line.
And then the other thing that we talked about, you kind of bringed it up isn't a word. You kind of brought it up on the periphery there, which is that there is a difference also between being able to separate art from artists with their language and their stupid politics, and separating art from artists when it's somebody who's been accused or convicted of a crime. I saw people arguing online. If everybody knows, there's like a rapper on trial for the murder of a young girl right now, a rapper named David, and people were having like,
David.
It's David.
That was not what I was expecting.
David?
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, his name is like, I don't know, Chronic Axeman. And it's like, he's this rapper,
His
David.
name is not Chronic Axeman. It's David with a 4, if that makes it any cooler. I don't know if that makes it any cooler.
That changes things.
Anyways, he is on trial for a brutal crime, and people were having a debate about whether it's okay to listen to his music or not. And this came up yesterday because we had a whole discussion about Jared Leto because of all the new accusations there. You said you had thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on Jared Leto?
How much of this?
We've got time. We've got time.
Can I tell you, Brett?
Yeah.
Brett, I feel so damn vindicated. Yesterday was just a day of sweet vindication for me because how many years upon years I have been telling people that dude is a creep. And I had people a decade plus ago being like, oh no, that can't be true, whatever. And this is before we knew all the stuff about, oh, he's sending rats in the mail to his coworkers, and he's giving used condoms out to the other actors. Okay, so what happened was this. When I was like, I had just turned 18, maybe like a month. So here's the thing. It never occurred to me, the age thing, until finding out that he's allegedly. Go on. Yeah. Going after all these underage people. And I'm like, wait a second. I had just turned 18. He never asked how old I was. So anyway, I'm trying to think on a semi-family show when I was barely 18, I guess it could be described as a date. I had a date type thing with Jared Leto, and that dude is out of his tree. So he brought a third person. By the way, I should mention, he seems like the type of person to me, I've always thought this, who's just like too cool to have a sexual orientation. You know?
Like it wasn't like, it's even worse than somebody who obsesses about it. He's literally just somehow above it.
Yes.
It's like, yes. That is somehow worse.
Yeah. So anyway, he brought another individual along who I can only describe as, I don't know if she was a groupie. I don't know if she was a hooker. I can only describe her as she looked like if you had Kesha and like put her in a food processor.
Okay.
Or in a garbage disposal or something. She probably wore the short shorts with the Uggs.
Okay.
But so anyway, they were doing a lot of drugs. They were trying to get me to.
Wait, so how is it that this is so not just Jared Leto, but Ryan Murphy too? It's like,
well, I should mention with the Jared Leto thing, it was, I know, which is weird. I swear I have no other stories that are interesting.
These are your two big ones.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Like they both come up within a week.
Keep going.
What was I saying?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
So anyway, yeah. They're like doing a bunch of drugs and shit. I'm like, I ain't doing that. He's saying all sorts of really weird shit. Oh, this is what I meant to say. I should say, with my experience, this one time, Jared, it was not any sort of like assaulty thing or anything like that. It was just very strange. I got myself into this situation and had to get myself out. But I think, I don't know what it was. You could tell it was like some sort of like power trippy thing for him that I think he was aiming for, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, they're doing all sorts of drugs and like trying to get me to, and I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I've never done any drugs. I'm like friggin' Pollyanna,
Very
I'm like,
smart. Very smart.
that creeps me out. But yeah, then he tried to take things in that direction of like, multiple numbers of individuals. And I'm like, at that point, I was just like, I gotta walk my dog. I gotta get going.
That's about as good of an excuse as you can come up with.
That was always my go-to.
Yeah.
But then my dog died, and I'm like, I don't have an excuse now.
It doesn't matter. You can still say it. If they don't know that, you can still say it.
Or I could just be like, oh, my dog died again.
Or just be like, bro, no, and then get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really weird, though. So I read through these allegations, and like the details of what they're saying, I'm like, it just lines up so perfectly to the T with things he had said to me. He was talking about crystals, and we were in one room and had to leave the entire room because something bad happened here, there's energy and stuff. And he's talking about timelines, that maybe we live in different timelines and you're in the one timeline and I'm in this timeline. I had no idea what he's saying. By the way, not cute whatsoever in person. And this was a long time ago. Not like there was a window of about 10 minutes when he was attractive. The moment that My So-Called Life got canceled, he hit the wall.
When was that?
Like the 90s? I don't know.
Okay. Did you
never watched My So-Called Life?
Did you know him more as an actor or as a musician?
And I only knew him from My So-Called Life.
Okay.
And because they used to show the reruns when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
They would have Degrassi, and then My So-Called Life, and then Boys versus Girls, which was like a kid's version of Survivor that I was dying to go on. That's besides the point, though.
Yeah.
That is. But yeah,
crazy.
no, I never listened to his band or anything.
Yeah. The only time I ever heard any 30 Seconds to Mars song was like, there was like I think they used a 30 Seconds to Mars song in the finale episode of the show Nikita with Maggie Q, and that was like the only time I ever heard one of their songs at all. Unless there's ones that I've heard and I just didn't know it was his band.
Yeah, I couldn't name you one. Oh my God, though, did you see? So, by the way, I should say, this is like the most elaborate version I could give on here without chasing away all the viewers. But if anyone watches my stream from last night, that's the R-rated version of the story. But did you see? I didn't know about this. Did you see all the stuff about his cult?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've covered the cult in the past.
It looks like Midsummer. It's like the Wicker Man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, it's like every time I see stuff like this, I want to like post the picture of him like where he's like creepily walking on the rocks with all the people walking behind him and be like, it's always the people you least expect, because literally not. It's exactly, it's like, who could have seen this coming? It's shocking to everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah, that dude sucks.
All right, let's move on. So there is trouble in paradise, and by paradise I mean the Big Brother set. Why don't you let everybody know what's going on here? People need to know because they're trying to get this guy banned.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the Gestapo is at it again. So the current season of Big Brother is airing, Big Brother 28. Let me break it down for you. So in the house, we got one house guest, Jason. Jason is a stunning and brave drag queen who had been on RuPaul's Drag Race, right? Okay, so that's one guy. Oh, and by the way, I should mention, we've discussed this before on here, but over the last decade or so, at least since 2020 on all of these shows, the casting has become very bland, very everyone has to agree, everyone has to have the same beliefs, like it's very just same, vanilla sameness. This season, however, it still is, but there's maybe like you'll get a crumb of something that's not just, your average like HR woman Democrat. So there's another contestant on there. Tell me how to pronounce his name again, because I can never remember. Kimu?
I think it was Kamu, right?
Kamu?
Kamu Kirk?
Kimu, Kamu, whatever.
Yeah.
Both very unattractive sounding names. However, Kimu Kamu is an MMA fighter. And before the season started, he committed the ultimate sin that people looked up his Instagram, Brett. And do you know what they found?
That he's like vaguely conservative.
He's vaguely conservative, Brett.
I had a feeling. It was the MMA of it all. Shocking.
The MMA of it all. The MMA of it all. So people already, were up in a tizzy. So anyway, weirdest thing, by the way, that I swear, we've talked about this before, but there is something, straight men under 30 are not okay. I don't know what it is, but there is like an airborne epidemic of fruitiness amongst them. That you'll see, like, any guy under 30, you'll be like, oh, that is a flaming homosexual.
I mean,
and no, it's not.
Do you think that has something to do with like where you're living? Like that's not, from my experience, something that I see generally out here.
Is it just a Florida thing? Well, you're with like the mountain men.
Yes,
so I think you're like the.
I'm saying it's location specific and probably where you are.
Maybe, but I don't know.
But in general, there is probably still an epidemic these days of dudes who are under 30 that can't change a car tire.
Yo, it's. I think this needs to be a game show, gay or under 30. It would be.
Well, we played this game on your show, and I got everyone right.
See, because you're used to being around the mountain men.
Yeah.
Well, get this, though. Get this. So people are already very upset about it. However, because you got all these straight guys under 30, they're all in the Big Brother house wearing dresses. All the straight guys, half of them are walking around in women's clothes and stuff. So you got the drag queen Jason, and he sucks. He's trying to manipulate everyone, but he's not good at it. So day one, he's complaining. He's like, I'm so not used to being around people who aren't gay. And is complaining. And it's like, okay, well, the point of this show at one time was that it was a social experiment for all different types of people. So if you're only ever around people who are exactly like you, maybe this ain't the show for you.
Yeah.
Or what? It's just amazing how when it's the correct groups, suddenly diversity goes out the window.
Yeah.
But he was trying to manipulate this one woman by crying to her about his dead mother, and then he like turns to the camera and starts laughing and pointing, but she saw him in the mirror. So he has played a terrible game. So anyway, all the straight guys under 30 who are very fruity are all, kissing his ass, and they're all, oh, we're all going to dress and drag
Wait, is
together.
This supposed to be like, they're like, I'm an ally or something like that? Is that what this is supposed to be?
I think it's just like the epidemic of low testosterone.
Okay.
I don't know.
It could be that, like, so I see that they're saying that, like, he was caught on Paramount live feeds making controversial remarks about drag, which sparked a fury amongst fans who also dug up homophobic social media posts that he had allegedly liked before joining the show. The most depressing thing in the world now is they go and police your past likes and stuff like that. His latest comments and online behavior caused a slew of Big Brother fans and alumni to call for his removal. An insider told this paper that the executives are closely monitoring the contestants' behavior on live feeds. But as of now, he remains in the game.
Do you want to hear what his horrific remark was? So they're talking about how, all the guys in the house are going to dress and drag with him. So the MMA fighter, Kimu Kamu, says, miss me with that drag stuff. That's his exact words. So what he basically said is, don't expect me to take part in that. What he basically said is, I do not consent.
Yeah.
I never want to hear these people ever use the word consent ever again, because the only consent that they have any respect for is their own. He does not consent. Period. End of story. That's all they should have to say about it. However, the Gestapo comes out and it's like, you will wear the dress and you will like it.
Wear the dress, you bigot.
Yeah. Get
like
this.
bake the cake.
Ugh, you better bake the cake, Bridget. Get this though. So this became this is one place where I can't do what we were talking about and separate, because you have all the Big Brother podcasts talking about, oh, how terrible the homophobia. So also the drag queen is being targeted not because he's gay, because of all the things I mentioned, because he pissed everyone off so much that he's banging pots and pans to make enemies. I don't know. So anyway, you have all these Big Brother podcasts going on now about, it's just so terrible that he's being oppressed like this and he's being bullied because he's gay, and they need to just cast half a house of gay people, because how else could he ever do anything, because being gay is just such a handicap and you're oppressed and victim and it is maddening. And guess who is leading the charge for this?
Who?
Ariana Grande's fruitcake brother.
Okay, I didn't even know she had a brother. Shows what I know.
Oh, that guy sucks. He was on Big Brother 16.
Oh.
And he came out with a video, and oh my God, you have to see this guy. You just got to see him. Like, whatever you're picturing, it's like if, I don't know, somebody made a wish for a pride flag to become a person. He's the person it would turn into.
Yeah.
So he just came out with a video, though, up on the cross. That's like him. That's long ago. That's him looking normal.
Yeah.
Compared to most of it, but just like exactly what you'd think, glitter and sparkles everywhere. So anyway, he came out with the video saying, I changed everything for gay people on reality TV. After I was on Big Brother, I paved the way.
So he's like a trailblazer.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, gee, they would never show gay people prancing around in glitter and rainbows ever before. You're revolutionary, truly. Okay. Oh, it's insufferable. But get this. So this has become such a controversy now, and we've talked about this before. It just goes to show why all of these shows that are meant to be social experiments, that are meant to be based around conflicting personalities, have all been destroyed, because you can't make the most slight, off-the-cuff, in passing remark like this. They can't handle that. But get this. So this became a huge controversy. I've had the alphabet people raging in my DMs by the thousands for a week now about this. So anyway,
why? Just because you tweet about it or something?
I commented on a post on Instagram of the Big Brother account. So all I said, it's not like I was even asking. All I said is, I was like, it is not homophobic for a man to refuse to not want to wear women's clothing. I'm gay and I wouldn't do that. Let alone for an MMA guy. I was like, he does not consent. What are you not understanding? And they don't, the alphabet people, their heads explode when you tell them that they have no control over your behavior, actions, thoughts. Like, they just really want to control everyone. Oh, but this is what I was going to say. Get this. So these producers are probably the most insufferable people on planet Earth.
You have to be kind of a sociopath to be a reality TV producer. You kind of do.
See, I wish they would bring back sociopathic reality producers.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have it in them anymore.
Now I think it's a bunch of HR Karens. Yeah. I think that's who's creating all these shows now. But get this. So this became a big story. Couple days later, they have a challenge in the Big Brother house, and they tell everyone, here's the costume you have to wear for it. Take a wild guess what they
no way.
Timu Kamu to be in.
So they just gave him like a dress as a costume?
A dress with a tutu.
Okay.
And he was forced to do it.
Did he do it? He had to do it?
He had to. It was part of the competition. The producers did it.
That's kind of
they even the MMA guy, you will wear the dress.
Yeah. Production is aware of Kamu's social media activity, and they are not happy with the comments he made that a lot of people are perceiving as anti-drag, the source said. They hear the feedback loud and clear. Because of that, they're monitoring Kamu closely, more closely than other house guests. They're making sure he stays in line, and so that sounds like fun, right? Keeping somebody in line. Sounds like a lot of fun. They're making sure
in a reality show.
They're making sure he stays in line and his comments are not offensive more than any other contestant, because some of the things he said already have raised some red flags. They stressed, however, that it doesn't mean he's already done. That being said, there is no active discussion currently about removing him from the show. Well, now we know why, because they got to humiliate him in another way.
Yep, they got
get him to bend the knee in another way.
It's so insufferable too. These people talking about like, pretending, making big showing of what they're the allies of the alphabet people, and they're like, oh, you could never understand if you're a gay person, you can't relate to people. I'm like, how come I never have these problems once in my life? Like, these people are insane.
Yeah,
we don't exist in the same reality.
We don't. All right, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Cute of the day today. And by the way, I will repost it later tonight, but I did put up a new post requesting you guys send me your pictures of your pets, because everybody likes to brag about their pets. And this one is from AK Kamara, who I have been on IRL with. Good dude. With a picture of the puppy, and it looks like he's sleeping on a teddy bear. It says, Beans the American Gentleman. I like Beans. Beans looks Beans looks very, very comfortable right there.
He does. He's having a good ass time.
All right. As always, guys, I make sure to do you guys a favor and not make you look at cringe all the time. We always do the cringe Monday, Wednesday, Friday when Mary's here. And when Olivia is back on next, I'm sure she will submit cringe that will make your blood curdle, but we'll have to wait until then to do that. So let's go ahead and move on then, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a ton of stuff to get into today. Let's talk about the Thomas Crown Affair. Now, the Thomas Crown Affair was originally released in 1968. I believe in that version, Thomas Crown was played by the famous Steve McQueen. Then, of course, there was the 1999 remake of the Thomas Crown Affair, which we are going to review today on this show later, played by Pierce Brosnan. And in both of the main versions of the story, Thomas Crown is a wealthy, successful businessman who steals out of sheer boredom. He's just a guy whose life is too easy. He's got it made, and he needs to feel something. It was right in line with the way things were going in the age of 1999, when everything was extreme, X this, X that. In the movie, he flies planes, he tips over boats, he takes golf swings that cost $100,000, anything to not be bored, which is why he goes and steals a famous Monet painting, because God forbid a person ever be bored. Well, now, in the big 26, as they say, we are going into the year 2027, and Michael B. Jordan is producing, directing, and starring in a brand new take on the Thomas Crown Affair. They released a trailer today, so I guess I'll cut this out of the main segment later, but let's go ahead and watch this trailer so you can get an idea for what it looks like before we get into the rest of the topic. So here we go. First, more than anything, this movie is written by Drew Pearce, who does have some cred with movies that I actually like. He did Fall Guy, which I really, really enjoyed last year. He did the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff of the Fast and the Furious franchise. He was one of the writers of Rogue Nation, which is one of the Mission Impossible movies. There's a Mission Impossible tone to that trailer that we just watched. He also did Iron Man 3. Now, the thing about it is the 1999 version plays up the romance more even perhaps than the heist aspects of things, but that's not the thing that's going to draw people's attention or ire, depending on who you are. People are going to be mad about a couple of things. They're going to be mad about the race swap. First and foremost. And as you guys know, I am perhaps the most liberal in the space when it comes to the concepts of race swaps. They do not bother me. And I'll explain this again for anybody who's perhaps watching this on the replay, or if they're watching the clip later and they don't know the channel. They do not bother me unless the race swap involves making race a central aspect to the character in the remade version, because it just feels like it's done for even more political points rather than just changing the race swap on screen. The other reason that it doesn't bother me is I say that people give more leeway when you do it with an actor of note. Somebody like a Will Smith who could take on roles like that, or a Denzel Washington. Nobody's going to care because they can understand why a producer would hire those guys, because their names carry a lot of weight. Now, Michael B. Jordan's a producer, and this was his thing from the off. So he's like, I'm going to hire myself when we do this. This is not the problem, though, but it could be if what I'm reading about this ends up being true. This is Michael B. Jordan's quote. He says, "I didn't want a reboot. I wanted a reimagination. The first two films were about rich white guys stealing for fun."
Oh, boo! Bad Whitey, bad Whitey.
"That doesn't land today," he told Variety in November. "Ours is more personal. The stakes are higher. We've still got the fashion and the romance." And what you learn here is that the Thomas Crown in this world, he does not steal because he's bored. He doesn't steal because he wants to feel something in a world where all his needs are met. He steals to repatriate goods that were stolen through colonialism. So so
tell me again, Brett, how you don't mind race swaps. Tell me again. What did we learn today, Brett?
If he is in this movie, if he is repatriating African art and things back to their homeland, then it's literally doing the thing I said that they shouldn't do. They're taking the character and they're making race a central part of the process. Also, this is how Black Panther started. With Killmonger, they're literally stealing back goods, him and Claw. Somebody posted this, subverting the original premise. Jordan explicitly stated that he wanted to change the narrative from rich white guys stealing for fun, which he felt doesn't resonate the same way. Instead, in 2027, this version flips the original dynamic. His character is an anti-colonial hero conducting heists to repatriate stolen cultural artifacts that were misappropriated from their rightful creators over the centuries. Hollywood is so... It's not even just that.
Whitey took it and stole it. Bad Whitey.
And it's not just that. It's more to say, like, Hollywood can't conceive of a world where people could look at rich people on screen and not be angry because they're in a bubble full of envy and jealousy, even if they themselves are rich. They assume that every person who goes to see their movies is a dummy McDummerson who's like, I don't like rich people because they stole from me or something like that. I don't know. They're basically turning him into the same thing that's happened with Lara Croft over the years. She can't raid tombs. That's colonialism. Therefore, they have to do it with this character at all. Why not just make a new heist movie where that's the theme rather than the plot of the original? The idea of the gentleman thief who has all the means and all of the resources and steals because he's bored is a much more interesting and complex view of wealth than modern Hollywood is willing to take. You can either be Michael B. Jordan, playing Thomas Crown, stealing stuff back for the oppressed, or you can be some Elon Musk allegory where you're just generically evil. The other thing they talk about is this movie's introducing like a core evil villain played by Kenneth Branagh. Stop doing that! He's not scary! I say this all the time. I like Kenneth Branagh a lot, but I think they proved in Tenet that just putting all of the evil sounding music doesn't make somebody scary. Kenneth Branagh, he's a great actor. He's just not, I think they did this in the 2012 Jack Reacher with Chris Pine that nobody watched but me anyways. The point is, he's just not scary as a villain. And there's even a shot in the trailer where he's trying to play scary villain. I just don't buy it. What do you think? Do you think I'm on with this? Like generic do-gooder, just it's less fun.
No, they have to. First of all, it's all about burning down history and thus burning down Western civilization, taking any works of art of the past and just injecting race communism into it. This doesn't make us want to see it. It makes us want to hang ourselves. I can't with the, and here's the thing. Now, you know, you're like the raging lib on the show. I know. I am here to represent the far right. So, however, I didn't know about that he had said those things. I was so prepared to say, I don't care about this being a race swap. It's not, you know, it's a different thing, whatever. And I'm glad he said he beat me to it.
Look,
so now I can stay to my far right corner.
If they had said, if he was playing the same character that he played in the other movies, he's got all the money, he's got all the wealth, he can get anything he wants. So he fills his time by taking ludicrous risks and making bets for $100,000 on golf swings. You can change it, make it a pickleball swing or something in 2027. I don't know. But the point is that they had to fundamentally change the motives of the character. And we'll get into this more when we do our review. Oh, did I say Jack Reacher? I apologize, Leif Erikson. Jack Ryan. I'm sorry. That's somebody will rake me over the coals.
Wasn't Jack Reacher a movie also?
Yes, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. I meant Jack Ryan. Sorry, I was cooking and then I screwed up. That's fine. The point is, if he was the same character, if he was merely a rich guy who had all his needs met and stole out of sheer boredom, that's fun. That's interesting. Lots of movies and television shows have done plays on that. They do an episode of White Collar with Tim Matheson, where he plays a hedge fund manager who robs banks because he can. Because that's what he wants to do in his free time. And it's fun and it's interesting because the idea of the gentleman criminal is more interesting than the idea of the altruistic criminal. We have been beaten to death with the idea of the altruistic criminal now. People are kind of bored of it. The idea of the gentleman criminal, and I give this example anytime this comes up all the time. In the movie Heat, when Macaulay, and they're robbing the bank, and he basically says to all the people in the bank, he goes, get down on the ground. We're here for the bank's money, not your money. Your money is insured by the federal government. You're not going to lose a dime. I like that idea because it's not criminality for the sake of criminality. It's criminality with a purpose. And the idea is they had their own principles. They had their own moral compass that they chose to, their own values that they chose to live by. That's interesting. This is not. It's just so played out. It's terrified of the idea of portraying a wealthy person as anything other than either a do-gooder trying to help others or somebody who is enamored with flogging themselves because of their wealth. This is obviously not that. It's the former.
Oh, but you can still be a billionaire in these movies, but be a victim because you're still oppressed by Whitey.
Yeah.
I can't with this. The only values that they want us to abide by are race communism. And sometimes gender communism, sometimes alphabet communism. But it just comes back to communism.
And as I said before, look, from everything that I've seen, as they pointed out, Creed 3 was well received, maybe perhaps not as good as the earlier Creed movies, but Michael B. Jordan has proven himself to be a strong commodity in Hollywood. He is a bankable movie star.
He is oppressed, Brad.
Yes, he is. Well, so coming off the success of Sinners, and coming off the success of everything, him being the most memorable character in the Black Panther franchise, even though he was only in the first one and he played the bad guy, he's a bankable star. And remember, has he
made a single movie that's not about being held down by Whitey? Because everyone you just mentioned.
Look, going all the way back, like he's a dude who's been in this for a long time. He was in The Wire. He was basically a teenager. Or a preteen in The Wire. And I get it. This is for him. It's a vehicle for himself. So it's a script, obviously, that's been changed to resonate with him specifically. And I saw plenty of visuals in that trailer that unfortunately felt more like a Mission Impossible movie than it did a heist movie. The thing about it, and maybe I'll wait to get into it more when we get into the 1999 remake review, is like, look, this is the other thing. These remakes do seem to happen on a time frame, which is why I always laugh how mad people get when they say Hollywood has nothing new. Fast and the Furious, remake. I mean, in name only, but still a remake. Gone in 60 Seconds, remake. Thomas Crown Affair, the 1999 version, remake. It's all been done before for these companies. But I just think that he would have had better luck. It would have said more about his credibility as an up-and-coming star if him and Ryan Coogler can make Sinners, which before the success of Obsession was like the most successful R-rated movie of all time or something like that, or the most successful horror movie, a very successful R-rated horror movie, not based on an original on a previous IP, right? His name carries value. Why not go and make your own original heist film? I just think that
nobody
would have
been. Would see it.
The thing is, I don't think that is true. If Sinners,
you're probably right. And
if Sinners was successful, no, that you shouldn't hate that. You should want people to go and create new stuff because theoretically, his name value would be able to sell it. Now, maybe he doesn't feel confident enough to do that without Ryan Coogler directing, given that Ryan Coogler is also a producing and directing powerhouse in Hollywood. But even he is not necessarily doing that because he's off producing his X-Files continuation.
Which will be about, you know who is oppressing the aliens, Brett.
Alien race communism.
Whitey.
Yes, exactly.
I can't with that. And by the way, not to tangent, the cinematography in that trailer is giving me an aneurysm. So there are scenes that can be orange and there are scenes that can be green and nothing else. You will not see a frame of contrast in that. Every single scene is one color. I hate it. Cinematography is becoming a lost art.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Now that we have that we have gotten that over with, and we've talked about everything that is coming up with the Thomas Crown Affair reboot, let's do something fun, something we haven't done when we've done the show. I wanted to review the original because to talk about the Thomas Crown Affair reboot that is coming out with Michael B. Jordan, I thought we would go back and rewatch and do a review of the 1999 Thomas Crown Affair. Now, a lot of people do not know, or perhaps they did know, and it was just me, that the 1999 Thomas Crown Affair was in fact a remake as well. The original, which was done in 1968, starred Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway. And the 1999 version stars I almost said Tom Cruise, stars Pierce Brosnan as Thomas Crown, Rene Russo as insurance investigator Catherine Banning, and then Detective Michael McCann is played by Dennis Leary. The movie is directed by John McTiernan. You know him as the man who did Die Hard and Predator. And it was written by Leslie Dixon, who did Freaky Friday, Limitless, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Also written by Kurt Wimmer, who did the vastly underrated Equilibrium. He also did Ultraviolet, The Beekeeper, Law Abiding Citizen, the crappy Point Break remake, the crappy Total Recall remake, and the crappy Expendables 4. So his quality is up and down all over the place with his movies. But that's your writing team for this. As I said before, stars Pierce Brosnan as Thomas Crown, Rene Russo as the insurance investigator Catherine Banning, Dennis Leary as Detective Michael McCann. And in this movie, Thomas Crown is basically a bored billionaire who is a businessman who's very, very successful in everything that he does, who decides to go to a museum and steal a priceless Monet painting because he's bored and he needs some excitement in his life. And then that puts him in the crosshairs of insurance investigator Catherine Banning, which again seems to pique his interest, again, because he's bored, which becomes a romantic thriller that's more focused on their relationship than it is the heist.
Oh, I got a lot to... Okay, wait. First of all, John McTiernan. You guys click on any single frame of the 1999 Thomas Crown Affair, any frame in the entire movie, and compare it to that crap we just watched. You'll see contrast. You'll see composition. You'll see
shadows
art in the framing, shadows, colors, contrast. It's not just they slap an orange filter on and they slap a green filter on. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And also, you'll see real locations.
Yes.
Not just like cheap little sets. It was, oh my God.
All the museums were sets. All the museum was sets. Because I watched through the credits and it said no part of this movie was filmed in a museum.
Damn, those were good sets then.
Yep.
But I mean, the exteriors, like they really very, very rarely film any movies outside of New York anymore.
He's actually in a taxi in a New York street, which probably cost a fortune to block and shoot.
It was under Giuliani. It probably didn't at the time. Now it does.
So the most interesting thing about this movie is the movie goes out of its way earlier on to categorize Crown as a rich guy, but as a likable guy. His employees seem to like him. He's got an air of boyish charm, which I guess is probably because it's Pierce Brosnan. That was kind of the whole point, was to bring Pierce Brosnan in. It doesn't have anything to say about the concept of extreme wealth. It's more as if it's treated as if it's a point of fascination, like you're getting to look into a world that most of us are just never going to experience, right? It doesn't turn its nose up at the idea of this guy being extremely wealthy, nor does it seem to have any type of commentary on the idea of theft itself, because it's more concerned with why he is doing it rather than whether what he was doing was wrong, because the heists themselves are merely a jumping off point to get you into the manufactured relationship between him and the insurance investigator. Also, another thing, in the upcoming reboot, it's going to be Adria Arjona is going to be playing an FBI agent, which, let's face it, it's less interesting than an insurance investigator. I think the insurance investigator is a more interesting angle anyways. And
that's supposed to be Rene Russo.
And I also saw a scene in the trailer for the new one where it looks like he's in therapy. So it will be interesting if they bring Rene Russo back, because the therapist in the 1999 version of the movie was Faye Dunaway, who played the insurance investigator in the original 1968. So perhaps Rene Russo will be brought back to be the therapist.
Brett, are you a Faye Dunaway fan to the extent that I am?
I don't have any thoughts. I don't watch old Hollywood, so it's, you know.
You've never seen Mommy Dearest?
No.
Brett.
But the thing is, you could see her talent when she was like mocking him in the therapy scenes, which, by the way, less played out than therapy scenes now. Like in the 1999 version, they're like, okay, we got to do therapy scenes because, you know, it's part of the story. Now they're like, I love therapy. Let's make scenes about therapy so that we can get deep about their characterization and stuff like that. But she basically mocks him when he admits to falling in love with Catherine. She's like basically saying that like you're screwed because if she's like you, you're screwed.
She knows what's up. Faye Dunaway ain't playing around. She knows what's up.
So the movie is bookended by two heists, both of which are a lot of fun, but it's not like this movie is deeply focused on the thefts themselves. The best part of it being in the initial theft, when he steals the Monet, he puts it into a briefcase that would have broken the picture, and it has since been pointed out by many, many people. When he folds the briefcase, the picture's the long way, so it would have literally bent the photo in half or creased it, which makes no sense because there's no crease in it when he finds it on his wall later before he returns it.
Oh, and you said that it's a priceless painting, but they actually give us a price for it. $100 million. Like, am I nuts? Or are there paintings that are actually worth $100 million?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
For what?
Because they're painted by old Impressionist masters.
Oh.
Hold on. So give me your first impressions on, I guess the first thing I want to get your impressions on is the chemistry between Catherine and Thomas Crown.
Oh, let me tell you. They were stooping all over the world. They're stooping on islands. They're stooping on balconies. They're stooping in planes. This is like planes, trains, and stooping everywhere.
By the way, here's the. It's funny because I posted about the Thomas Crown affair this year when I was out with bronchitis because I had never seen the movie. I just saw it for the first time earlier this year. I said, "How did the briefcase not destroy the damn Monet painting?" As you can see, it's literally hinged. It would have broken it. It would have bent it. But okay.
And also, like, you're gonna risk that for $100 million?
Well, that's the point. He's bored. He'll do anything to avoid being bored. Here's my thoughts on the chemistry. I don't think they had any chemistry in the movie.
Really?
I don't think. Not only do I don't think they've had any chemistry in the movie, I don't think Pierce Brosnan had a single ounce of chemistry with any woman he ever did a James Bond movie with. Not one of them.
I don't think he ever had any chemistry with anyone. Have you seen Mamma Mia with him singing?
No.
Oh my God. My dad started cracking up laughing in the movie theater when Pierce Brosnan started singing.
He did not have he might have had a little bit of chemistry with Isabella Scorupco from GoldenEye. He did not have any chemistry with Michelle Yeoh. He definitely didn't have any chemistry with Terry Hatcher. He did not have any chemistry with Denise Richards. He did not have any chemistry with Halle Berry. I just don't think that he had any chemistry. But the thing is I believe that he was hired for this movie because of the proximity he had to the James Bond franchise, because the characters had some similarities. There are rumors, not proven, that the reason in this movie when Catherine cuts in to dance with him at the black and white tie dinner, in
her magician cape,
that he was wearing instead of wearing a black bow tie, he's wearing a white bow tie and it's undone, because rumor has it that because he was still playing James Bond at the time, he was not allowed to appear on screen in a bow tie while playing the character.
That's hilarious.
Or while playing a character that wasn't James Bond.
I agree with you. I don't know why that is, but it's true.
She had more chemistry with Dennis Leary's character, with the detective.
No, but here's the thing. She don't need to have chemistry with him. She has chemistry with us in this movie because Rene Russo in the Thomas Crown Affair is like spiritually a drag queen. This is a
what
drag
do you mean
queen
by that?
role. Okay, let's start. So she her costumes are ridiculous. She's got the lopsided wig that is fighting for its life.
She looks disheveled half the time.
Disheveled and over the top. And so the first scene where she comes in, so Rene Russo is the insurance man. She plays the insurance man or the insurance woman. Yeah. There's no insurance man who looks like this. There's no insurance woman who looks like this. But she comes in. I got to describe it. So she's got the Chanel sunglasses on, and she's got a friggin' fur coat on. So she strolls in there like this, the insurance man. And she's like posing, and she's got her furs on.
It's over the top.
It is ridiculous.
It's like they took a single mom and asked them to do their version of this. I'm sorry.
A drunk
single mom on whatever that green shit she was drinking was.
Yes. Well, and then there's a scene where she walks in like a magician's cape, and she looks like a damn matador, and the wig looks like it's about to fly off. Oh, it is amazing. It's amazing.
I didn't feel so they did like her introduction is great. Okay, that's the best she is in the movie is when they do the introduction where all the detectives are there and she's like, I'm with the insurance company, and they're like, ooh, I guess we're working with you on this. If I was the cop, I'd just be like, get the fuck out. Like you're ruining my case. You're having sex with this guy. Stop trying to ruin my case.
And they know it too. It's like, don't they have, I don't know much about insurance, men, but don't they have like some sort of policies against stopping the thief with the insurance and the painting?
You would think that it would make prosecution difficult, right?
And when she's like telling him, by the way, she's like, she's telling him how she's gonna get him and stuff. She's gonna catch him. And I'm like, this doesn't work when you got the titties out, they're bouncing, and I don't think it's quite conveying the message you think it is.
So the movie goes out of its way to show you both her intellect and her cavalier attitude because she lives in a man's world, which still worked in 1999. That type of idea. Notice how it's an almost all male detective unit. It's all male cops. So she's like the one woman in a man's world. So that story doesn't feel as boring as it does today, where somehow it's a man's world, but it's 65% female cops, and it's a female police chief and a female mayor and a female. You get what I'm saying, right?
And 107% black cops.
The point. Well, this movie's got not Donald Faison, Frankie Faison in it, who's great. I love that actor.
Are they related?
He's I think it might be his dad. I don't know. It's spelled the same. One thing I did like about this movie, because I don't think that they had the chemistry, the score for this movie was big and it was whimsical. And the other thing about it is there are a lot of keys in here. Now, when they're talking about the 2027 movie, being about the repatriation of goods, it might be possible that what they are trying to take back is Sinner Man by Nina Simone, which is in this movie. And then it seems to be an influence in every aspect of the score of this movie. The keys in that song seem to be an influence in the score.
And then they got the 80s guitar in every scene.
I love it. I loved it. Pierce Brosnan is less reserved in this portrayal than he is in his James Bond persona. It captures more of what you would call his boyish charm. I do laugh because I've seen his James Bond movies so much that I clock him picking up glasses the same way in multiple things. But he smiles more. He's clearly trying to portray this guy who's trying to find something to be excited about.
By the way, don't you ever say you're not a nerd. You're like, oh, he picks up glasses the same way as
James
he did.
Bond isn't movies. James Bond is big budget slop that I love, and that's fine. Again, I don't think that she had a whole ton of chemistry with Pierce Brosnan. I think. Oh, the other thing, they seem to dress him the way they dressed him in a lot of the other James Bond movies as well. At one point, he's wearing like the white shirt. Like the white button-up shirt, just like he did in GoldenEye, and he's in a convertible, like in GoldenEye. So it felt like they were calling back to a movie that had come out 4 years prior. Like, remember, he's James Bond. He's James Bond. So that being what it was. Did you?
The thing is, she didn't need to have chemistry with it. She had chemistry with us. Somewhere on Christopher Street, there is a drag queen missing their entire wardrobe, their wig collection, their everything. It all went to Rene Russo.
I did like that they at least tried to bolster the chemistry by doing the thing where they expose the photos of him on dates with the other girl, where then she's supposed to be mad. She's supposed to be mad about it. And the twist with that was kind of good, except for it should have been telegraphed better what her relationship was with him earlier in the movie. They do the one scene in the ballroom that was fine, but it kind of becomes like
when the Matador comes in.
Yes, exactly. And it is what did you think about the general pacing of the movie?
It was okay. It sort of went in waves. Like, there's the heist wave, there's the Stupping wave, then there's the heist wave again. That's basically the 3-act structure of this.
Yes. See, the problem is, during the Stupping wave, as you call it, they didn't build what I felt was effective chemistry between them. So if you felt by the end that they couldn't live without each other, then it would make perfect sense. But it didn't feel that way. It kind of felt like it went all over the place, and then you didn't really know where they stood right before they went into the final heist.
Yeah, which is why I didn't really know where. I figured that would be where it was going, but I wasn't looking at it like they're in love or something. I was like, no, he ended up with a topless drag queen who's going to try to poison him in the morning.
And then so the heists. Thoughts on the heist? Because I thought that the heists were fun in a way that they matched the tone of the character's personality. They weren't overly complex. No. They weren't nail-biting, is he going to make it out on time? They were whimsical, just like the character is whimsical, so it matched in tone.
Yeah, it was very 90s in the best way possible. It wasn't over the top or anything. You know what I watched the other night, by the way, that was just the most mid thing to ever exist? The gender-swapped Ocean's 8. 7, 8.
I think
what was
8? Was the gender one.
And they basically don't even show the heist in it, or barely do. So it's in contrast to this, where it's like, you have great locations, you have great sets, you have great cinematography. They're showing these things. You have practical effects and wires and stuff like that. Versus what gets made now.
I love the Romanian the Romanian museum guards who nobody would fall for because they all look like prison convicts.
Every single one of them.
They just look like the meanest person you've ever seen in your entire life. Oh, yeah. By the way, given that the Odyssey came out, the fact that he used an actual Trojan horse to get them into the museum was topical.
And I saw it and I thought it was the horse from the Brady Bunch house. So I think this and a very Brady sequel share the same cinematic universe.
Again, the movie, I can't pretend like when we critique the choices they're making for the 2027 Thomas Crown Affair, I can't do that being like, I love the 1999 version. It's amazing. It's not an amazing movie. It's probably amazing by modern standards, just by the fact that you have actual physical locations and the fact that the movie seems to be willing to just show you rich people being rich without feeling like they have to make social commentary about it. But other than that, it's pretty mid.
Without these people being like, I would be a trillionaire if Elon Musk wasn't.
And by the way, this movie is it's mildly received by audiences with a 77 and 68 from the critics. So it's about in line where I'd expect it to be for that.
I do love, though, a low-stakes chase movie. This is like the most low-stakes. Oh, he stole a painting. Like, okay, I get it. It's a lot of money. But, he took a painting because he was bored.
I like
the
it.
End. Like... I do love a low stakes movie.
All right, I had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, just the fact that you can go back and watch old movies and it's better because you're seeing actual physical locations. I was on a podcast a while back. I was on the drive-in talking about what I loved about the 2000s Gone in 60 Seconds, which, by the way, also a remake. That people don't know is a remake. And I was talking about how in the scenes when Memphis Reigns gets brought to the villain's scrapyard early in the movie, there's like flames shooting out. I'm like, why are there flames in the scrapyard? I don't know what's going on. There's excavators moving around. There's flames shooting off behind the excavators. And you're seeing this through the window of a car done on a physical location. And that it was enough on its own to endear me. Well, I mean, I've loved the movie since I was a kid. But the point is, rewatching it, that gives me another reason to love it beyond just, nostalgia. Just the physical locations.
Yeah, well, it's crazy how in the 90s, 2000s, 80s, all of these movies that were seen as nothing, no sort of artistic achievement, just the median average quality of movies. Oh, how we took it for granted. Yep. So a movie like this, or we've talked about before, a movie like I Know What You Did Last Summer, things that just seemed like average movies that get released. Now you look at them compared to the crap that comes out today, and it looks like an artistic masterpiece.
Oh, I think I left a name out of there for the So for the original, hold on, I forgot. There's something you're gonna love to hear this. I think somebody can double check with me if I'm wrong about this, but I think I'm right about this. I meant to leave it in my notes. So the guy Kurt Wimmer, who did Equilibrium, he did Ultraviolet, he did Beekeeper, but then he also did the crappy Point Break remake, he did the crappy Total Recall remake. I believe he also did the crappy Children of the Corn remake.
No!
And I say crappy because I never saw it, I just know everybody else hates it. I would never rewatch.
First of all, there are like 17 of those movies.
There's the one in 2020.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Like I said, it's funny that he has like Beekeeper, which people really like, Equilibrium, which is very underrated. Law Abiding Citizen is really, really good. So what I've learned is that he's good when he makes like his own thing, when he writes his own stuff. He's not good when he tries to readapt stuff that was already done. Because the Point Break one is a remake, Total Recall is a remake, and Expendables 4 was just an unnecessary sequel. But Law Abiding Citizen was great. Equilibrium was great. Beekeeper was, yeah, you don't even call it great.
What the hell is the Beekeeper?
It was a Jason Statham movie from a couple years ago.
Oh.
So, All right, let's move on. It's time for Mike to tell everybody how they can become an influencer because apparently you don't have to do this by going to college.
Oh, good, because I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't go to college, that's what.
So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Arizona State University, infamous party school, is now going to be offering you a chance to get a degree in content creation, and I'm not even kidding you. They are sending you to influencer school. Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication is offering a degree focused on building an online audience, growing your own personal brand, and turning that annoying social media addiction you have into a career that you can thrive in. They're emphasizing that it is going to go beyond just dancing in front of a ring light. You're going to have to be able to do more than TikTok dances to do this. These are the things you're going to learn. How to analyze performance metrics across multiple platforms, how to experiment with different content strategies, and then you're going to be doing something that they call the capstone project, which is that every student will pick a platform, so you can either have TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, and then you will create content on that platform for an entire semester, grow an audience, and have documented, measurable results when you're done, so you don't leave the program with just a degree. You will theoretically leave your bachelor's degree program with an actual following that you can leverage later. And that way, I suppose that's better than just leaving with a useless degree.
You know what I think would actually be a fascinating social experiment. Not all the people who take that, we should study this. Who takes this class? Because not everyone who takes this class is going to be cute. Not everyone is going to want to see all these people on camera. So we should see how the cute ones do versus how the uggos do.
Yeah. Like the idea is like, oh, you look like you'd be good at making stuff for an Etsy shop. You know, with your hands, which is just how they tell you you're ugly. That's what they would have told me. They would have been like, Brett, you have a face for radio, so you should
shut up. You have a beautiful wife.
You should go into radio, Brett. That's what they would have told me. But the point is, for all of these types of courses, look, most of the time these days in right-wing circles, there's a consistent debate about college. And there's some hypocrisy coming from a lot of college-educated conservatives that tell you you don't need to go to college. That happens quite often in the space. Now, I do think that it's fair advice that if you don't have a cast iron idea, like a really good idea about what you want to do with your life, you should not go to college and just wing it. Right? It's another thing if you want to go and become a doctor or become a lawyer, because you have to have accreditation, you have to go to a specific, you have to take specific courses that require you to have a degree to do it. Whereas, the Kane Parsons of the world, the Curry Barkers of the world started making stuff in their career on YouTube long before they were college age. I don't know if either of those guys went to college, but I know that they probably didn't need
Curry
to.
dropped out.
Oh, there you have it.
After like a month or something.
Because they knew that they could do it on their own. Okay, I need you to tell everybody what would, if you were to teach an influencer course, what would be something that you tell them they need to do?
Turn your phone off and get a life.
Wait, why?
I would say just what the world needs, another influencer. We need that about as much as we need more podcasts.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. I'm very jaded. I am a non-fluencer. I am proud of being a non-fluencer.
Well, what does that mean? You've got 48,000 followers on X?
It's 52, Brett.
52. There you go.
How dare you? See, this is why I'm a non-fluencer.
But
you're diminishing.
You have more than I said.
Yeah, but you didn't know that because of that's the non-fluence that I have.
Yeah. So
I would say I don't know, do something useful, do something. I'm just so sick of these people who, and here's the thing too, there's this very strange phenomena where if somebody has a camera on them and people watch them on a screen, they will believe anything. They will look at them as somebody worthy of accolades, of attention, of any crazy shit they might say. It's the weirdest thing ever. I feel like there really is a major lack of discernment on people who watch any sort of content.
It's an extension of what people used to feel towards reporters. They're wearing a suit and they're reading off the teleprompter. They must be trustworthy. The network says they're trustworthy, so they must be trustworthy.
Trust the experts.
Right?
I love by the way, though, that it has to be. How did they drag poor Walter Cronkite into this?
Looks
I
like
mean,
it's
that
his
man
school of
must
journalism.
that he must be rolling in his grave.
I saw that in the comments. Somebody said that in the chat down there. So I looked at the program here. Here is the ASU academic programs. Here's the curriculum sheet at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism for the content creation bachelor's degree. You go through the major requirements like your grammar for mass communication, media and society, developing media content, media writing, information gathering, digital media, all of these aspects of it. But this is where we should get into.
Figure that out on your own?
So here's your upper division electives for content creation skills courses. So I'm going to read some of these off to you. Tell me which one I should click on. So we've got topic, how to become, actually, no, we'll start with that. We'll start with how to become an influencer.
Oh, please. We need to know, Brett. We need to know.
Let me see what it says as far as
gotta get to influencing.
Yes.
What are we gonna influence?
We're gonna see right here. So
chat, are you feeling more influenced yet?
It explores the practice of integrating knowledge, skills, and perspectives from multiple sources. Can be used to better understand human behavior and interactions. Okay.
What?
So let's go down to. Well, okay. So what do you want to hear from? You know what? Let's look at on-camera presence. I want to know if college can tell me how to have an on-camera presence. It says, developing professional on-camera presence for live and recorded media, students build the visual, physical, and vocal skills required for effective on-screen performance, including body language, posture, movement, teleprompter reading. I could use that one. Anything that involves reading, I could use that one. Ad-libbing and live delivery techniques. Through repeated on-camera practice and critique, students learn to integrate vocal control with confidence, physical presence in studio, field, and live environments.
How are you going to teach someone that to have a presence? You either have one or you don't. There's nothing to what.
This is something that I've said for a very, very long time, which is like, for me, me specifically, I watch a lot of pre-recorded content. So stuff that's heavily edited, and that's not this here. But even when I watch a lot of live podcasters, there's just something about them. And I've always said, I was like, look, I accepted early on that I was never going to have that type of presence doing what we do. I believe that, but I also believe that that type of talent is unbelievably rare. I do. I don't think that there are that many people. Kind of like how I always make the argument when people talk about in the movie space, they're like, why are movies worse these days? I say, I don't think that movies are inherently worse or that the people that were making movies got worse. I think there's just more people trying, whereas it's a finite resource to find people that are really good at something. So back in the day, in a meritocratic industry, the cream always rise to the top. And the best of the best made the stuff because they had the talent. Now, there's such a need for output that people without that skill level are still being given the opportunity to make stuff. And I think that there's no place where that's more evident than in the social media or influencer or podcast space, because anybody can try and do it.
Anybody. I mean, I go on things to run my mouth. People listen. Like, that just shows there's no barrier. People are listening to me. Like, they'll listen to anyone.
No, the idea there is that there's something about you that people find inherently interesting, that they find worth listening to, and that's what matters. You didn't have somebody teach you that in a course.
Maybe I should have, though. Maybe I should have.
There's stuff here that I could have benefited from. For instance, they are absolutely correct about the idea of posture mattering or the idea of vocal control and breath control. Like, if you're like me and you just start ranting and then eventually you're out of breath, that can be a problem.
So do we have to breathe better? What do we do? Like,
breathe better.
How? Okay. What am I supposed to do?
I mean, you'll have to go take the course. Maybe we'll send you to go take the course to understand what that is. The other thing about it is, like, I've had people who don't normally podcast that do like an episode of IRL, and when they're done, they're wiped out. like after 3 hours of 2-hour live podcast.
Really?
And then the other hour doing the call-ins and the stuff like that. They're wiped out. If you're somebody that does it regularly, it's not as much of a problem. It's like pro wrestling. They have to get into ring shape. They have to do it consistently to be able to do it all the time. But that's not even, that's just podcasting. If we're talking about being an influencer on like YouTube, it's finding a niche. Be good at something and document yourself being good at that. The stuff I watch on Shorts is all people that just have a niche skill or talent that you don't normally see highlighted. So I watch lots of stuff like master carpenters, woodworking, things like that. It still requires a lot of skill because you don't just have to be good at the woodworking. You have to have an editor who understands what they're doing. So I would watch these videos, right? Where they'll take and they'll cut together very, very complex wood patterns for like the corners of doors and windows. And then they like match everything up. And they do the thing where after they cut everything perfectly, they push it together and you literally hear a sound effect click into place and then a ding. It's literally like sending a signal to your brain that what you just heard was satisfying. That's a skill set because somebody understands that it's more than just being good at woodworking. It's understanding that there are aspects to video production that go beyond just the talent.
Yeah. I watch a lot of videos of like this chick who bakes bread and then she puts frosting in the bread.
Does she do
and it does not look right.
Does she do the thing where she's like, let me give you a quick recipe on making bread? It starts back in 1982 when I was a young girl.
No, I hate that. Or that other chick. It's sourdough, so it's gut healthy.
Yeah. Non-narrative.
Oh, I guarantee you there's a catchphrase course.
Probably. Non-narrative video storytelling teaches students how to create video pieces that effectively communicate a story, information, or concept to an audience in non-narrative form that is engaging, interesting, and intelligent. Focuses on the various forms of non-narrative storytelling to gain experience.
What's it still like?
I guess, creating both longer and shorter pieces with DSLR cameras, advanced editing, and graphics that are appropriate to the intended platform. Students learn how to shoot video and stills with a DSLR camera and then use in each video creation while advancing skills as a video editor and graphic designer. Students broaden their creativity and range as a video producer in the areas of journalism and mass communication.
That's not producing.
It is.
I mean, do you need do you really need here's how to use a camera. Let me pay. I bet they're paying out the ass for this. I guarantee you that like basic white chicks would pay all the money in the world to take this course.
There's a section on interpersonal influence, principles and procedures that affect the process of social influence, consideration of attitudinal, compliance-inducing, and perceptual influences. You must also have prerequisites in psychology.
What's this?
Manipulation.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Oh, we should take that course.
We should. We should absolutely do that. Well, you know what? That is something they talk about in this space. You have to have, and it's actually something that I rebuke to our own detriment. I don't have a rallying cry for this podcast. The number one way that they tell you to grow a podcast audience is to say, this is something we're working towards. Don't you want to join us as we work towards it? Guess what? I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not even trying to tell you that Hollywood is the most evil place on earth or that it's the worst place in the world. Not doing that either. Literally just want to get on here every day and talk. If people want to show up and listen, they can. If they don't have to. It's why I make the joke all the time that we are your number one source for background noise.
Oh, God. I feel like my voice would be quite distracting in the background. Sorry for any of the background noise viewers.
Your description for a course on podcasting explores what it takes to start a podcast from the ground up. Students devise a proof of concept for a podcast while fortifying their knowledge of the industry. The podcast projects are based on a unique value proposition that fulfills a specific need for the audience. In creating a show, students implement interviewing skills, audio engineering, and nonlinear editing to develop a podcast with intention and longevity. Look, again, some of those are good skills to have. Like, getting good interview skills would be important, especially if you're not going to be somebody who's just doing your own show every time. If the idea is to bring people on, you have to be good at asking the right questions. The podcasts that I listen to that are interview in format, that interviewer knows how to, pry when they reach a certain part of the discussion. Maybe it's not in their notes, but they know when a follow-up is needed and when a follow-up is not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can picture the people who would take this course. And oh my God, you know what they look like? They look like Jared Leto's whore. That's the kind of chicks that would take this. See, it used to be back in the day, you could just be stumping a rock star, but now you got to do this.
Well, no, now even if you marry a famous athlete, now you're if you're a wife, a wife or girlfriend of like an athlete, you then have to have your own podcast on the side. You have to be an influencer on the side.
I would so support. I feel like we need a national moratorium on podcasts.
Is there like a... See, I can't say that because I have a podcast. That's pulling the ladder up behind me.
I'm a hypocrite. I identify as a hypocrite. So yes, however, ours are amazing, of course. Mm-hmm. However, I feel like we maybe have reached our quota. I feel like we might not need more podcasts.
No, the world is full of micro niches now.
I know, or microaggression.
There you go. All right. Look, guys, the thing about it is you will have to learn how to do everything if you're going to do this on your own. Like the beauty of doing it for a company is like you have help if there's something that you don't know how to do. But if you're going to do it on your own, you got to be able to do it on your own. Like to set up your own equipment, to understand how to troubleshoot your audio problems, your video problems, all that stuff. Eventually, you have to learn it on your own anyways. So that's the stuff that you can take from that. But most of the people that end up being successful in these spaces, they're passionate about it. Therefore, they go and do it on their own. One thing that I've always said was like the people in this space, and the reason why I don't think I will ever be inherently all that successful is that the people who are really successful, whether it's podcasting or anything like that or social media, is like they've got something they're really, really passionate about and they've got something to say, and it's like it hurts them to not say it. Does that make sense? To me, if I woke up tomorrow and I was working like a regular job again, as much as that would suck, I wouldn't feel like this innate need to talk.
Really? See, for me, I just basically have like self-diagnosed Tourette's syndrome. So I'm incapable of not running my mouth.
Yeah.
Physically incapable.
Like I don't have strong opinions a lot of ways, either way in a lot of things. I feel like you have to have strong opinions.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like at the moment, at least, the state of the podcast sphere is like, I don't know. I feel like so many of them, it's not based in passion. It's just based in not wanting to do anything else, not having anything else that they're good at. And I don't know. I feel like the bar of entry is
and I'm not even good at this.
It is not you. It is shove it with the faux humility.
And the other thing about it is, it's like I do laugh though, because like what were we saying on IRL the other night? It was like, guess I'll just die then. It's like somebody on the show, like people will leave comments on episodes where it's like, Brett sure loves to talk. I'm like, well, the show's 2 hours long. I mean, I could just sit here in silence. Mike could just sit in silence.
I've been capable. I couldn't.
But it would be rude of me to expect Mike to do all the talking for 2 hours. Unless Mike picked all the topics.
Stop myself. What's that?
So unless Mike picked all the topics. If Mike wants to pick all the topics and then do all the talking, I'm also happy.
Oh, please, if I picked all the topics, show would be banned in a day.
Well, no, you just got to learn how to PG-13 it.
Oh God, would I have to start using? Oh, I bet you also this is part of the course that they teach you how to use the little
To
like
say sewer slide rather than the other one?
sewer slide. What the hell is sewer
It's
slide?
rather than suicide.
Oh no. That well, at least that's better than like the pee wee wee words they
Pew
use,
pew
like
rather than
pew
gun.
pew and you unalived. Oh, I hate it.
So the
I
thing
hate it.
is now, like, I listened to this. It's not even a podcast. It's like a YouTube channel just called Serial Killer Documentaries. He
Come on.
he didn't go creative with his name, and I think it works to his benefit. And so as you know, when it comes to these types of cases, it's not just a lot of murder; it's a lot of the other stuff, which in the podcast space they'll call grape.
Grapes.
He doesn't do that.
Grapes of wrath.
He doesn't do that. But so for a couple of episodes, he would say the word, but then bleep it out, or he wouldn't bleep because that would be ridiculous, but he would make it go quiet for the word, right? He just cut it off. Now he says non-consensual sex, which at least keeps the flow of it's not a podcast. It's just like a full video. It's like a documentary. So it doesn't sound as out of place, but if you're listening to somebody and they're saying unalive, it's one thing if you're like us and we're not a very serious show all the time, but if you're like a serious network and you're saying unalive, it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, I bet you they do that now too.
But you have to keep your monetization.
I'd rather lose it. I'd rather lose it than start saying pew pew.
All right.
I can't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us go to your super chats here, guys. Let's get Mike to a crisis party. We're like 3/4 of the way there. Come on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brett, come on. You're supposed to learn from our influencer course.
How do
What
we
was it you
wait?
said?
We have
We're
to
working towards the goal. Chat. If you get us a crisis party, do you know what is gonna happen? Do you know? You will be a better person. You will be a better person. We are working towards the goal of a crisis party.
I heard that you can.
do it
I heard that you can
together.
put an end to gay race communism if you get us a crisis party. I don't know how it would bring it to an end, but it will happen if you get us to a crisis party.
Please do it. Please do it. Well, they will stop putting a chick in it and making her gay.
Yep. Shane H. Wilder says, "Happy Thrashing Thursday, Brett and Mike. So what are y'all trying first? The Pepsi body wash or the Domino's garlic and herb ice cream?" The Pepsi body wash, of course. I'm not eating.
These are real things.
I'm not eating. Yeah, I saw this garlic and herb ice cream. Are you fucking insane? I'm not doing that.
Oh, I'd be down for that if it weren't Domino's.
Wait, what?
I've been meaning to make forever Parmesan ice cream. I've heard it's amazing.
Gosh. So you're like an Italian supremacist. You won't even take like corporate versions of Italian food.
Oh, hell no. That is a hate crime.
See, I want to
Like
go
the
to Italy
Olive
and talk to them about like the great pizza in America. I want to go there and be like, well, we've got these really great local places called like Pizza Hut and Domino's. We have King's Pizza out here, which is weird because there's like 5 different Kings, but they're not the same Kings. They're not franchises. They're just different places named Kings.
Oh, and I'm guessing it's a shitty kingdom.
It's really good. It's
Really?
like it's more like a pizzeria.
I make the best pizza.
Really?
I'll make you guys pizza when I see you.
All right. Pop Culture Junkie says, hold on. Edict to keep Ruffalo off the press tour came directly from Tom Rothman, chairman of Sony Pictures, Junket PR handler, probably had a party. Oh, Junket's PR handler probably had a party. Yes, they probably did. They were like, woo, we don't have to cover for Ruffalo.
Oh, and by the way, I looked it up before the show. I was just curious because, he seems so obsessed with his beloved Palestine. Surely, he would fit in very well over there. So I looked it up. How many trips has Mark Ruffalo taken to Palestine? And actually, you'd be surprised to know that the number is actually 0.
Shocking.
Any of these people who want to go, report back to us. Go to Palestine, go to Saudi Arabia, go to Iran. I will buy your ticket. Come to me. I'll get you your tickets.
S. Dozer on Rumble says, King's Pizza is good, Brett. Oh, yeah. No, I go there all the time. Actually, now let me rephrase that. I have not been there in a while because I do get pizza from time to time, but I'm just cheap these days. I get carry out. I don't even get delivery to save the money. And for me, pizza is just one of those things where I'm just like, my gosh, the carbs are insane, and I'm always hungry after I eat it. Whereas, like, if I have burgers or if we have steak or meatloaf or literally anything, like, pizza just leaves me hungry afterwards, and I'm trying to, like, not be a fat ass.
You haven't had my pizza.
Oh yeah. Well, homemade is almost better. Yeah. The other thing is, like, by the way, guys, I did have my my appointment with my doctor, and I am in good health. I'm happy to report I had a physical done. I haven't had a primary care physician in like over a decade and a half.
Same.
And I was like, I need to go and like at least have like blood work done and everything, and yeah.
And it was good?
In good health. In good health, they said. All right. Shane H. Wilder says, Mike Harlow 2028, not a communist.
God, we don't have enough problems. You want to put me in there? Although, I mean, I do feel like, and this hurts my feelings, and I'm not happy about it. I do feel like at this point, I am the only guy on the right who has not had a sex scandal with a man. And it
can that happen to you though? Because you're gay. That can't be a scandal.
You know, I can try. I could have a sex scandal, Brett.
I mean, it would have to
be,
but it wouldn't. But then, no, technically, you'd have to have a sex scandal with a woman.
I'm open to it. Every year I think like, okay, this is my year for a sex scandal,
and every year you come up short.
I know. Well, not short, but
Shane H. Wilder says chronic Axeman. He smokes a lot of weed and uses a lot of douchey body spray.
I mean, better than David. I did not see that coming.
Look, the David case is super sad. Like, you should go look into that. Like, well, like those are one of those ones where I think we might have covered it initially when the case first broke, because he was still on tour when the body was found, and then he was brought in for questioning. But like, dude's a psychopath. It seems like.
Way to look into that.
The Ruffling.
I love true crime stuff, and I'm also a whore for video essays. Any like weird esoteric video essay I've saved to watch later tonight. There's like a 4-hour video essay on Alf.
Oh yeah. Did you see the post I made when I found the 5-hour video essay on every flavor of Mountain Dew ever made by this guy? And then I found his 2-hour video on every flavor of Monster Energy drink ever made. Like, that's the stuff that I like. And most of the stuff that I watch, it's movie and TV retrospectives. Like,
same.
Things that spend 5 hours on one show.
Same. I'm so on board for that.
And by the way, if you guys are looking for good video essayists that talk about movies and TV, there's a guy named Spidgey that I've talked about on here a lot. He does these great, extensive, and very, very detailed reviews of the. Thank you. You even got lights that change. That's amazing.
You know, I prepared. I have faith in the chat fam. I knew they would get us our party because we influenced them, Brett.
If we got to a crisis party, you too can help end gay race communism. That's what it is.
That's the message now. That's the message.
If you get us to a crisis party, Hollywood will never make another movie woke. That's all right. The Rumbling says Ruffalo isn't that important to this movie. You could switch him out with Mr. Fantastic and it would be the same. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I will hopefully have my review for you guys tomorrow. Mike, member for 5 months, says, my family and I watched Masters of the Universe last night. Better than the Odyssey. Why? The message. The monsters. The fun. I said what I said. Fight me.
I
liked Masters of the Universe. It was fine.
Yeah, I have some of my most like anti-woke friends said that it was pretty good. So
There you go.
I don't know. Usually when someone says the message, I assume that means like the message,
Yeah.
as a critical drinker would say.
Pat the plumber, member for 5 months. Thank you so much. Says Brett Dasovic is my hero. I'm over 30, by the way. Well, you, my friend, are in dire need of real heroes.
Mine too, but I'm not over 30.
There. Wait, you're not? I thought you were talking about being a millennial at one point. That makes
Shut up, Brett. Shut up, Brett.
Oh, okay.
Shut up.
I was like,
I'm
what's going on?
trans age.
Oh, is that what it is? Shane H. Wilder says, your name is Thomas Crown. My name is Kunta Kinte.
I look forward to the race swapped remake of Roots with all whitey.
I'm going to see that one. Manic Attack says, not caring about race swaps and separating art from artist is a losing position and only helps spread their propaganda and dilute your own culture. My culture
tell
as
him,
like a
tell him.
It's diluting my Croatian culture. My Polish culture. They've already all I got was that second year union season of The Wire. That's it. Nobody cares about Polish people.
Yeah, though, tell him.
Polish lives matter. I think. All right. Flying Dutchman says, please bring back Vera. She is 100% better. Well, first of all, you are rude. And second of all, Vera will be back at some point. You want to beat him up?
Yeah, screw you.
Yeah. Don't worry.
No, I'm going to influence you. I'm going to win you over.
So the thing is like my favorite is like the best thing you can do if you want advice on how to really sting someone with comments, you have to make it count. And you can only do it a couple of times, because if you say something mean to someone once or twice, they're not likely to remember your name. And so they'll be like, damn, maybe I do suck, or maybe this is whatever it is. But the thing is, if you leave 300 comments or 400 comments being mean to someone, you're a crazy person, and nobody
it's just
takes
a hobby
like
at that
nobody
point.
takes that seriously at that point. So make it count. If you're gonna troll, if you're gonna try and hurt someone's feelings, you will hurt them more if you do it more incisively and less often.
See, I have the sweetest haters though.
How so?
They are always like, you bitch, what do you weigh? 50 pounds. I'm like, 50 pounds? Oh my God, you think I'm skinny?
DJ Dubs on Rumble says Croatian. That's a funny way of saying American. Actually, that makes it funny. Like that's why I never understood the this like you talk about like deep connection to like being Italian and Italian culture. Like for me, I didn't really have anything. Like I think my grandpa watched tapes of people playing polka music, and that's about as Polish as it got for me.
But if you were Italian, you'd feel differently.
Okay, well there you go. Like I always just felt like an American, so that's all that really matters.
Well, same, but there's different flavors of us.
El Jefe Lopez on Rumble says this is gay. See, now leave it at that and don't make more comments, because if you make more comments, we won't take you seriously.
No, I'm more. But super chat them.
But super chat, yeah. Well, Rumble rant them over there.
Rumble rant them.
All right. Bob Man, I think that's I can't say if that's Mam or Man or Marn. I don't know what
It's
that is.
Ma'am.
Yeah. The 1968 Thomas Crown Affair is on Tubi. Faye Dunaway does a cameo in the 90s version. Yes, she is the psychologist in the 90s version.
You're in my eye line.
Exactly.
Did you ever see that commercial of hers?
No.
Oh yeah, they had the outtakes of it, and she's screaming at everyone that they're in her line of sight.
Oh, is that supposed to be like a play on being like is that from a movie, or is that like just
No, that was just her.
just
like
because
filming
she's like
the commercial.
just like that? But I'm saying was like, what is the point of the commercial? Like what is that saying about it?
No, it wasn't saying. She was saying that because she was like being rude to the help.
I'm saying, was the point of it be like, this is like an old school Hollywood person who was rude to everybody?
No, she is no, it wasn't scripted. It was she was saying this.
Oh, that's amazing.
She's an old school Hollywood person who's rude. So she would be delivering her lines and then she'd be like, "Cut, you're in my eye line."
Good for her.
I know. Oh, I love her. They don't make them like that no more.
Everyone wants to be nice.
I know.
Katie says, I demand justice for Mike. Hashtag justice for Mike with Leto and Murphy Mike. With Leto and Murphy, there's a period there. I can never read this very well. Mike, was Murphy the same guy that made the High School Musical films? Is he the guy?
I don't think so. No, he did Glee though. Also, you're awesome, Katie. You're thinking of Glee, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared Leto. It wasn't like a justice. Like he's just a creep and a weirdo and possibly a pedo, but other than that.
All right. Shane H. Wilder says, how to become a content creator: develop a skill and then film it, or go the Mary route and get into a bar fight at CPAC. That is true.
She got into a bar fight?
She did at CPAC. She'll tell you the story someday.
God, I love her.
Let's see here. Shane H. Wilder. I majored in communications with a focus on film and audio video production, or I guess it's audio visual production, with a minor in psychology, and I think I got more from that than I would Influencer U. Probably.
You'd get more from standing on a street corner hooking than from Influencer U. Try turning tricks or something.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, don't. But also, even that would be better than Influencer U.
Duke Marine says, anything to make Mike dance around all crazy. LOL.
That's my boy.
There you go. Thank you, Duke Marine.
He is the GOAT.
Thumper. This one's for my homie Mike.
See, some people like me, you dick on Rumble. Thumper.
No, you gotta you understand. Like, you gotta let that stuff wash over you. Like, roll.
Oh, I don't care. I love it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
See, the thing is like doing stuff in this space, it incentivizes you to be anti criticism, because you very rarely do people ever qualify the difference between constructive criticism and just being a dick. So you're just like, I'm just gonna do what I want and whatever, because
I kind of like people who are dicks too, though, so I don't mind that. What did Thumper say with his cute dog?
This one's for my homie Mike.
That's it. What's up, dude?
The band.
It was so cool on my stream last night. There were PCC peeps in the chat. I was honored.
Who was there? Was Katie there?
Thumper. Not last night. I think because she's like, there's a time zone.
She's Australian, yeah.
Australia, yeah.
Manic Mustache says, late as usual, but apropos to acronyms, JMO, oh my God. JMO, J-M-O-E, equals JMO, J-M-O-W, just me or everyone else. Example, just me or everyone else, grilled cheese tastes better cut diagonally. So
I feel like that just made me dyslexic.
He used JMO yesterday, and we were like trying to figure out what the hell that means. So it means just me or anyone else, or everyone else. Basically, it feels like the easier way to say it would be, is it just me?
Huh. Okay.
Does grilled cheese taste better cut diagonally? The answer is no, by the way. No.
Yes, it does. It's more aesthetically pleasing.
It's the most millennial Reddit coded thing I've ever heard.
But it is more aesthetically pleasing.
It's the
just sandwiches in general. But you know what? A sandwich is a sandwich. I would take it any way I could get. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! I just remembered the most amazing thing ever. Do you want to hear it? Are you ready?
Go
my God! I totally forgot. I set an alarm in my phone for today so I would remember what day it is today. At Publix, they got pub subs on sale for $5.
I don't even know what a pub sub is.
I know they don't have them up north.
Is that like?
But I'm in Florida, and oh my God, it's the best thing ever. They have Publix, which is like a magical land of a grocery store.
I mean, I've seen Publix before, but I don't know what a pub sub is. What type of sub is it?
all sorts of different ones, but the best one is the fried chicken. They got like chicken tenders, and you could get like oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
A fried chicken sub sounds like it would go super hard.
Oh, it does.
But now I'd be like, I don't need the bread. I'll just eat the chicken strips.
Oh, dude. It's so annoying too because like my friends here are all keto and stuff,
No,
and I'm like,
it's not that. It's like, again, I haven't like changed my diet specifically, other than just kind of monitoring the calories I take in during the day, because it's all like during the day it's prepackaged stuff that I can accurately count. But once we have dinner, I'm like, we'll ballpark it. We're not measuring out ingredients or anything like that. It's just like try and eat as much real food as possible and not consume much sugar, which has been the we have like these like the company buys these like really, really big like gourmet Rice Krispies that come in all different flavors. Like there's Rice Krispies with fruit with like Lucky Charms on top, and Rice Krispies with like graham cracker in the middle. And that's like, I eat about a quarter of it because it's like 800 calories for one. And my biggest skill set now is learning to say no when I'm...
that sounds good.
I just waved to Olivia, who's behind me, or behind the camera.
Tell her it's okay. I'll make lasagna.
Yeah. So, yeah, so that's most of what it is for me now, is to just try and monitor the calorie intake. So pub sub would be good, but I'd do it without the bread if I could. All right.
It's just chicken tenders.
Shane H. Wilder says, most of my real skills I developed on my own. Honestly, the only textbook I kept was one on script writing by one of the main writers of the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Robert James Films says, Brett, you clearly forgot about Kevin Spacey. In what context?
Murdering people?
Like... what context did I forget?
Allegedly alleged.
I mean, I can still watch House of Cards. I can like
first few seasons.
Yes. Well, yeah. After Kate Mara was gone, I kind of lost interest. But or no, is that
I hung him for a bit longer.
Or not?
But
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. But that was a turning point. But that was early on. That was like the end of season 1 or whatever.
Well, I missed the context of that, but
I don't know what the context of that one was. Manic Mustache says, "How do you get a one-armed?" Oh, it's a Polish person joke that I technically is a slur.
Yes, slur. Slur.
I'm not offended by that,
slur.
but I don't know what YouTube's guidelines on that are.
They don't get it.
But you can, if you in the chat want to say it in the chat, I'm not offended by that.
Okay, wait. Let me open the chat.
Mike says, you wouldn't understand, Bert. You ain't Italian. Salud.
Salud, paisan.
Bob says, it's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Bob ma'am says it's ma'am. Shane H. Wilder says, as someone who comes from an ancient family of mercenaries, I do appreciate my murder for hire heritage. Not a joke. It's why the English kicked us out.
I'm with
and
you.
Then
Same name.
Cesario JPN says, it's no ma'am, Brett. National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Mass Terhood. I don't know what any of that means.
Excuse me?
Thank you for that.
Masterhood?
I don't know what that means.
That sounds disgusting.
Don't know what any of this means. Don't know what any of this means. That's fine. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope we influenced you, even just the littlest bit, because if so, then we have done more than somebody who has not yet started their influencer college degree program at ASU. So hopefully we have helped in that regard with somebody. We want to have influenced you for something. You should also, if you have not yet, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you, especially if you came over and you watch Mike's stuff and then you came over to watch here. What are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. That's the first day of influencer school. They're like, hit the notification bell, turn... Wait, what?
Like and subscribe.
Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified anytime we go live or do anything.
Ugh. Thanks. I hate it.
Mike, where can they find you so that you can influence them?
Yes, come get influenced. Check out my YouTube channel. It is just my name, Mike Harlow, Mike like Tyson, Harlow like Gene. I will be live in 2 hours from now with Pimpcast tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm on Twitter at not Mike Harlow, Instagram at Mikey.Harlow. And if I may shill for a brief moment,
You can chill.
I want to shout out. You guys know I'm all about support indie art, so I want to shout out a buddy of mine who's coming on my show tonight. My friend Brody makes video games, so he has a new game out on PlayStation called Wishbound that's based on the movie Obsession. Can't wait to play it. It's gonna be awesome. So check out Wishbound on PS5 and come hang out on Pimpcast tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Mike Harlow on YouTube.
Perfect. If you guys want to follow me, I'm on Instagram and on X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. PCC is live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. That is a great way to help us out. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisispod. One more here from Robert James says the context was you can be gay and have a sex scandal. That's what he was saying.
Oh yeah, but I think I'd have to murder people then, and
That's a bad idea.
It depends on who. I'd have to be selective in my homicide, you know.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. With all of that being said, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you guys then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.